It started with the sound of scissors, not the kind used for art projects or decorations, but the sharp, cruel kind that sliced through dignity. When the bathroom door opened that day, a few strands of long, chestnut hair lay scattered on the floor, trembling like broken trust. And right there, standing frozen in front of the mirror, was Lena Brooks, the new girl, her eyes wide with disbelief as laughter echoed from the group behind her. They thought they had won. That cutting her hair was just a harmless prank, another initiation into their elite high school. But what they didn't know was that Lena wasn't just any girl. She was the daughter of Captain Raymond Brooks, a decorated Special Forces officer who had taught her resilience, discipline, and the silent art of strength. And when she finally lifted her gaze from the mirror, her tear-streaked reflection turned calm, steady, and frighteningly unshaken. That moment, right there, was when everything began to change. Lena Brooks had switched schools more times than she could count. Every time her father was stationed somewhere new, she'd pack her things. A few books, her mother's bracelet, and her sketch pad, and start over again. But this school was different. Hillside Academy, an elite private school filled with designer uniforms, diamond bracelets, and laughter that always felt rehearsed. Lena walked through the gates quietly, wearing her usual old shoes and a plain black ponytail. She wasn't used to standing out, but here, it seemed even her silence was enough to draw whispers. "Did you see her bag?" One girl whispered. "Looks like she bought it from a thrift shop." "Totally. She's not one of us," another snickered. Lena ignored it, keeping her gaze forward. Her father always said, "A soldier doesn't respond to noise, only to action." But the noise kept growing. By the third day, she realized she had somehow become the new school's mystery target. Her calmness, her lack of reaction, made them even more curious and crueler. There was Mia, the queen bee with perfect curls and a family richer than the town itself. She hated anyone who didn't bow to her circle. Her followers, Chloe, Zara, and Tina, laughed at every word she said. During lunch, they'd whisper near Lena's table. "Why does she eat alone? Maybe she doesn't have friends because she smells like the cafeteria." And then they'd giggle like it was the funniest thing in the world. But Lena never flinched. She'd just open her sketch pad and draw faces of strangers, old buildings, sometimes her father in his uniform, strong, unshaken, protective. She missed him. It had been 8 months since he was deployed. He used to braid her hair every Sunday morning and say, "One day, your strength will speak louder than your words." Little did she know how true that would become. The bathroom incident, it was Friday, the day before the school's big founders' assembly. Everyone was buzzing with excitement, wearing new shoes and talking about their speeches and roles. Lena just wanted to finish her art project, a painting dedicated to her dad, and go home. But as she washed her hands in the restroom before class, the door suddenly creaked open. Mia and her friends walked in. "Oh, look, the little soldier's daughter," Mia said mockingly. Lena froze. "What do you want?" "Nothing," Mia said with a smirk. "We just thought you needed a makeover." Before Lena could step back, Chloe held her arms while Zara pulled out a pair of scissors. "Mia, don't," Lena started, but the sound cut through the air. Snip. A lock of her hair fell to the floor. Then another, and another. Lena stood still, trembling. She didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't fight back. She just stared at her reflection, her long hair now jagged and uneven, pieces scattered like fallen feathers. The laughter filled the room. "Now you look like the orphan you probably are," Mia laughed, tossing the scissors into the sink. They walked out, leaving her alone. Lena looked into the mirror. For a moment, she didn't recognize herself. But then she remembered her father's voice again. Calm, steady. "Never give them the power to define you, soldier." So she picked up her hair from the floor, placed it in her bag, washed her face, and walked out. Not in shame, but in silence. The storm had only just begun. Everyone was whispering about what happened in the bathroom. Some pitied her, some laughed, but no one stood up for her. Until one person did. Mr. Allen, the art teacher, noticed her short, uneven hair and quiet eyes. "Lena," he said gently, "are you okay?" She nodded. "I will be." He didn't ask more. He didn't need to. He just handed her an empty canvas. "Then paint something that reminds you who you are." And she did. By Monday, the painting was done. A portrait of a soldier standing in the rain, a little girl behind him holding his hand. The caption at the bottom read, Strength isn't loud. When the school held its assembly that week, Lena's artwork was displayed on the main board. It caught everyone's attention, especially Maya's. "Who painted that?" one student asked. "Lena Brooks," Mr. Allen announced proudly. "Her father serves in the Special Forces. This painting is dedicated to him." A hush fell over the hall. The principal looked impressed. "We should honor him. Captain Brooks has served our country bravely for 15 years. He'll be visiting next week." Mia froze. "Her father's a captain," she whispered. The day of reckoning, when Captain Brooks arrived the next Friday, the entire school gathered to welcome him. His presence was calm but commanding. A tall man in uniform, eyes sharp yet kind. He spotted Lena and smiled proudly. But when he noticed her uneven hair, the smile faded. "What happened?" She looked down. "Just some girls being mean." He nodded slowly, not angry but disappointed. "Then let's teach them something, shall we?" The principal invited him to speak. The hall fell silent. He began softly. "Discipline, courage, and respect. These aren't just army words. They're human values." He looked directly at the students, then at Mia and her group. "My daughter has faced harder things than you can imagine. She's seen soldiers lose limbs but still smile. Yet what hurt her most wasn't war. It was cruelty from her own peers." The room went completely still. He continued, "If you think strength comes from power or popularity, you're wrong. Real strength comes from